This most recent episode of Helluva took us right back to the Sloth Ring, an interesting thing considering how spaced out our visits to various rings usually are, with us going to the Sloth Ring right back to back in Season 2 Episode 4 and then Episode 5. A lot of fans thought this meant that Blitz was on his way to sneak into the hospital and visit Stolas, as that was what was going on in the Sloth Ring at the very end of the previous episode. One fan on Discord suggested that Blitz is actually visiting Barbie now and trying to reconnect because of what happened to Stolas, and with that in mind, I thought I'd dive into this theory that Barbie Wire almost died before and Stolas almost dying reminded Blitz of that. But real quick, I want to remind you guys that we're still giving away $500 in Amazon and Shark Robot gift cards, as well as the opportunity for 5 people to get a free autographed print from your favorite cartoon character voice actor. Just stay tuned until the end of the video to learn how. We don't know for certain what happened to Blitz's family, but for those who haven't seen my previous video, my current theory is that Blitz accidentally burnt down his family circus at a younger age, something foreshadowed by him burning down Lululand in episode 2 of season 1. Here, RoboFizz gets burned in a pattern similar to Blitz's white face scar, which he didn't have as a child or even later in life while working at the circus, as we can see from the poster in his office, indicating that this might be how Blitz got his scar. Blitz is also foreshadowed as being responsible for a great tragedy that would lead to Fizzaroli losing his limbs when they are playing with their toys as kids, with Fizzaroli now having his limbs replaced by robotic enhancements. With Barbie Wire saying Blitz ruined her life, I believe destroying the circus destroyed her career and killed their mother, sending Barbie Wire down a horrible path of grief and, later, addiction. Barbie Wire seemed to slip into substance abuse after the tragedy and may have been using it more so to escape the neediness of Blitz than to escape the tragedy itself. She wound up in rehab and got out months before this episode opens, but Blitz is only just now caring and trying to break in to see her. I believe that Barbie Wire's addiction got so bad that she nearly died of an overdose, and that seeing Stolas being rushed off to the hospital in the previous episode reminded Blitz intensely of almost losing his twin sister in this way, and perhaps also seeing her rushed off to one of these hospitals. After the destruction of his circus and perhaps the death of his mother, Blitz would have been extra clingy to Barbie Wire, who is not just the last of his family, but again, his twin. Twins are imagined as having really strong connections to each other and being there for each other throughout life. But even Barbie Wire exits Blitz's life when she ends up in rehab. Here, she is so closely guarded that even Blitz had a hard time getting in, giving her the escape she needed to actually get clean without the stressor of Blitz. I believe it was likely her overdosing that would have led her to rehab, with Blitz seeing her almost die before disappearing into that system. Until recently, Blitz kept Stolas at arm's length, making Stolas the one person who fawns after Blitz, but who he pushes away. Stolas as a Goetia is mostly immortal, with angelic weapons being one of the only ways to truly end his existence. Because of this, he can take plenty of pain and has even learned to sexualize it. Blitz trying to hurt Stolas to steal the grimoire was something Stolas actually enjoyed and set the tone for their relationship. Because of this, Blitz treats him as someone who can't be hurt, not just physically, but emotionally, something proven by Stolas always pawing after Blitz no matter how aggressive, mean, or rude Blitz is. Stolas gives Blitz comfort because he can be the worst version of himself and he will still be chased. It allows him to feel like there's someone who will always be there, and at the end of episode 4, with Stolas being rushed off to the hospital, Blitz realized this wasn't necessarily the case. Stolas almost dying physically made Blitz realize he really might die alone, something we learned he is really concerned about with the recently released episode 8 of season 1, which had to be aired out of order. In this episode, we learned that Blitz was concerned about this after a hard night with Stolas. Stolas actually still invited Blitz in to spend the night with him, but Blitz ended up driving away instead, feeling like he was just some degrading sex act to Stolas. To follow this up with Stolas nearly dying because of Stryker, especially after Blitz had been so nonchalant about not helping against Stryker, made Blitz realize Stolas could be taken away from him even if they were to patch things up, and in fact he would likely still have hits attempted on him in the future. Seeing this happen to Stolas reminded him almost of losing his sister, and in the very next episode, Blitz is trying to break in to see her and then tries to get her to come live with him. Barbie Wire makes it clear that living with Blitz, let alone being around him, would be the worst thing possible for her. They are twins, two people you imagine as being born together and potentially spending their entire lives connected to each other as two halves of one whole, and Blitz was probably fixating on that idea, having a twin sibling in his life who would always be there because she was broken and relied on him. But after rehab, Barbie Wires realizes she doesn't need Blitz and can apparently live clean and without addiction. I really do think Blitz was ultimately pushing her to abuse different drugs, and getting away from him probably made her one of the few people in hell to actually go to rehab and come out clean, with Veroska coming out still chugging that Beelze juice back in episode 3 of season 1. The idea that Barbie Wire almost died, particularly from an overdose like Angel in Hazbin Hotel, would not be very surprising, as addiction is one of the key themes explored in the Helluverse. Hell is a place of sin, but what makes the behavior so destructive is how much it hurts the person personally. And if something hurts you so personally that you would normally give it up but can't, then that vice is an addiction. This isn't just substance abuse or overeating either, but even gambling, and we can even become addicted to the various technologies we have and the rush of dopamine they give our brains, such as when we consume entertainment. With all that in mind, it makes sense that addiction is a theme that we will see a lot of in both shows, and I expect it to be the focal point of much of Hazbin Hotel when the first season finally airs. With the sinners in Hazbin Hotel, the characters are immortal, and as far as we know, Angel Dust can take increasingly large amounts of his drugs without dying, but someone like Barbie Wire could overdose, even if it takes a lot more than it would a human, as according to Blitz, heroin could barely cure a headache for a demon, though we see them get pretty wilded out from the exposure to some in the episode. If Barbie Wire really was clean, then in this fight scene, she accidentally fell off the wagon again, and I worry that when we see her again, we'll find out that she's back to abusing substances, and once again, it will be all Blitz's fault. If he had not gotten involved, she never would have had direct contact with the heroin and start back down the slippery slope. However, if my theory that Blitz himself is the big trigger for Barbie Wire turns out to be true, that means that she may not actually end up relapsing because of this massive amount of heroin she took in the fight scene. Instead, this may prove to her that she really is over her addiction issues, and all she really needed was to get out of Blitz's life. But of course, that can't be how the story ends, and Blitz is undoubtedly going to make things worse for her in some way as the series progresses. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you'd like to win some of those prizes, come on down to the Cartoon Universe Discord server. You could win a $100 Amazon or Shark Robot gift card, which can be used at the Helluva Boss merchandise store. We're also giving away 5 autographed prints from your favorite cartoon voice actors that you can select for yourself. All you need to do is join our Discord, which is linked in the description below, or use our custom Discord code, CartoonUV. Once you join, you'll be messaged by this bot called Crew. With Crew, you can gain points, also known as Toon Tokens in the server, by being active and sending messages. But a brand new feature also just rolled out, and you are now able to integrate your YouTube account with the bot, meaning it will start rewarding you points for watching our videos and having conversations in the comments. That means the more you interact with our videos, the more entries into the raffles you will be able to make. You can purchase these prizes from the rewards shop channel in our server, or use the /shop command in bot talk. And real quick, we just drew a winner from our raffle, so one of those $100 Amazon gift cards is going to our Discord friend, Rubsa Star Cosley. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, and I don't think I ever will. Congratulations! And that leaves only 2 more Amazon gift cards, 2 $100 Shark Robot gift cards, and 5 possible winners that can get a signed print from their favorite voice actors. See you guys in the server.